look up the gym attack. Yeah, I did, man. So you gotta know a thing or two about me. So I do martial arts since 30 years, and I'm a professional since 2006. And basically, all I do in my whole day since I'm 16 years old is train martial arts and study things. I read books, I read online articles, hours on end, because that's all I do. That's my work, studying martial arts, teaching martial arts. And in my studies, I have, of course, studied all the most important aspects of science surrounding the martial arts. The art of how to control your body and mind, like medicine, physics, all that stuff. And also a lot about the biology and anatomy of animals and how animals are fighting. That's one of the earliest things that humans have done to understand fighting better, is study animals. And in today's world, we have thousands and thousands of videos on YouTube which I can study, which I have studied. Videos of animals fighting other animals, animals fighting human beings. Articles, hundreds and thousands of articles about humans and animals when they meet on not so peaceful terms. Studies on how strong animals are. For example, there's a known study, so to say, because it's not a real study, of how strong a chimp supposedly is. And where a female had like 500 kilograms of pulling strength. But that study, that measurement has never been replicated. In fact, it has been called into doubt because of modern measurements show not nearly, nowhere that amount of force. Modern science says that a chimp is likely 1.5 times stronger per kilogram than an untrained adult man. And also, another average adult man is about 1.5 times heavier than a normal chimp, which we can then conclude that a chimp is about as strong as a human. I can also see that because I know a lot about movement, biomechanics and stuff, that when I see chimps interacting peacefully with humans, there's a video of a chimp helping another man or a human on a tree. And many people were like, oh, he pulls him up with one hand. No, he's standing there, reaching down with one arm, supporting with the second arm, helping the human. He's not carrying all the weight. Also, when we see chimpanzees, lifting and climbing, when we see them climbing, they don't move around with the strength of somebody who's like 7 times stronger per kilogram. They move about with the strength of a very strong human climber. They don't lift with one arm and then jump with one arm. Boom, boom. They don't do things like that. They're not gibbons. They're not gibbons. They're chimps. And I've also, studied most of the chimpanzee attacks that are quite famous, and they include an adult male chimpanzee and a very old, weak woman most of the time. There was an old, frail woman being attacked by a chimp and dismantled. That's that one case that most people know. And there's another case where many chimpanzees have attacked one man and obviously overcome him and done him bad. But I've seen videos also. I can obviously not post them here because of community standards. But there used to be in circuses where humans were allowed to fight chimpanzees. Yes. And now guess what? Even audience members were allowed to fight chimpanzees. And obviously not all of them could win against the chimpanzee. But the chimp was not nearly as dangerous as you make them out to be. They're not nearly as strong as you make them out to be. Nowhere nearly. Humans have been fighting for fun and for an audience, chimps and kangaroos and stuff like that. Obviously not bears, but chimps and kangaroos. So very likely I would bet a good amount of money that I have several times more knowledge about chimpanzee fighting, as well as fighting in general, but especially chimpanzee fighting in that very specific topic than you do. Because as I said, I literally have nothing else to do all day than studying martial arts and studying other things and then teaching and learning more about martial arts and the art of controlling body and mind. And that's what I do, you know. That's what I'm being paid for. That's how I earn my money, because I understand so much about fighting. And sometimes that comes with some weird side knowledge, like knowing about chimpanzee fighting and having studied hours of chimpanzee fighting video footage.